Hello Moto GP fans, welcome back to ZNGP today. Barely 24 hours after his dramatic crash in Spain, Marc Márquez was back on track at Jerez, this time in testing gear rather than race leathers. The factory Ducati star, now just a single point adrift of brother Alex in the standings, used the one-day session to fine-tune his GP25 ahead of Le Mans. With Le Mans looming and a chance to reclaim momentum, Marquez hinted that small but critical upgrades could soon see action on the grid. With just days before engines roar in Le Mans, Ducati's Francesco Bagnaia is set to roll out a technical update that could shift the championship tide. The former champion trails Alex Márquez by 20 points and enters France looking to unleash a key tweak, one already in Marc Márquez's arsenal. Could this be the moment Bagnaia flips the script on 2025? Hot off the heels of productive testing in Jerez, Aprilia Racing heads to the Bugatti circuit in Le Mans aiming to turn pre-season promise into race weekend performance. With Marco Bezzecchi's past triumphs on the French tarmac and Lorenzo Salvadori stepping in for the injured Jorge Martin, the Noali squad will be gauging whether its RSGP25 upgrades truly translate across different track demands. In response to the start line chaos at the US Grand Prix, where Marc Márquez and several others stormed back to the pits for a second bike, MotoGP's race direction has overhauled the regulations to remove ambiguity. Race director Mike Webb walked the paddock through the simplified penalty structure, which comes into effect this weekend at Le Mans. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. As the paddock shifts north to Le Mans, Marquez finds himself chasing not only his brother Alex but also redemption. Two costly errors, first in America and then in Spain, have hampered his run. Entering the French GP just 1 point behind the championship lead, Marquez needed a quick response. Ducati's one-day test at Jerez provided the perfect opportunity to get back on the pace board before the intense European stretch kicks off. Rather than chasing radical overhauls, Marquez and his crew homed in on nuanced changes to the bike's handling. Chief among them was the front-end feel, a persistent sticking point in his setup. An old-spec swing arm resurfaced for trials, aiming to restore confidence under braking and entry. While radical revisions were off the table, these subtle adjustments could make the difference under braking into Le Mans' tight corners. We need to be careful about what we tried. It's true that we didn't try big things, Marc Márquez said. Ducati's philosophy this season has revolved around iterative progress, tweaking aero bits, suspension rates, and chassis details in pursuit of the next tenth. Marquez's Jerez outing was no exception. After topping both timesheets, he emphasized that the tweaks met their targets and that patience would be key in deciding whether to introduce them immediately or refine further before Le Mans. All that I tried, the targets were there. We keep improving the bike. Let's see if we will introduce them at the next race or if we will wait. Beyond mechanical gains, Marquez used the test to reinforce the mental resilience that once made him unstoppable. He acknowledged the tendency to overcommit and the need to balance speed with self-control, especially after 2 races without points. With unwavering pace still intact, the focus now is on converting speed into clean, consistent finishes. The speed was there, it's just trying to control myself, and not do mistakes. While Marquez plots his comeback, teammate Francesco Bagnaia lurks only 20 points further back, ensuring Ducati's 1-2 threat remains potent. Davide Tardozzi lauded how both factory riders collaborated on development, a partnership that could prove decisive as they vie for the crown. In the unforgiving Le Mans climate, every detail in the setup will count, and Ducati's unity could tip the scales. As practice lights flicker green at Le Mans, all eyes will be on Marc Márquez to see if Jerez's subtle upgrades can unleash his full potential once more. With error control, small part precision, and a team in lockstep behind him, the number 93 rider will be hungry to turn his tester's pace into race-winning performance. The French GP may well be the stage where redemption meets revolution. Following a constructive post-race test at Jerez, Bagnaia confirmed he'll debut an upgrade on his GP25 at Le Mans. And intriguingly, it's something Marc Márquez has been running. Originally trialed during winter testing in Thailand, Bagnaia shelved the part due to lack of feeling. But with a tighter title chase and a fresh mindset, he's giving it a second chance. It was something Marc was already using. I removed it after the test in Thailand because I didn't have a clear feeling. I felt good with it in Jerez. Pecco Bagnaia's statement. One major point of divergence between the two factory Ducatis is the swing arm spec. While Marc Márquez has opted for a different version, Bagnaia has chosen to stick with last year's proven component, for now. Marc is using another one. I tested it. But I didn't like it. I know that, in the future, another swing arm will arrive. Maybe this one will work for me. Ducati's Davide Tarduzzi confirmed the availability of the new swing arm during the Jerez test, and while both riders explored it, Bagnaia's decision to wait highlights his methodical approach. Teased the discovery of two things during testing that he believes will give him an edge. It's part of a broader attempt to address his key frustrations, particularly the inability to overtake and his slow starts on Fridays. We delivered something that we will use in Le Mans. We then tested other things I didn't like before, and I needed more time to think about it. While Marquez has delivered race-winning pace, Bagnaia has hovered just behind, often thwarted by lack of early momentum. With calls from within Ducati to find his missing piece, Le Mans now serves as a litmus test. Can these technical upgrades erase the 20-point gap to Alex Márquez? Bagnaia's evolution continues, and in the shadow of Marc Márquez's setup choices, he may finally be unlocking his own 2025 potential. If Ducati's latest upgrades bring Friday sharpness and Sunday aggression, the French GP could mark the start of a new momentum arc in this already chaotic season. Aprilia's confidence traces back to last year's sprint at Le Mans, where a strong showing hinted at untapped potential. That result now serves as the benchmark for this weekend's efforts, as the team strives to convert test pace into podium finishes. The podium in the 2024 sprint serves as our starting point. Team statement. Marco Bezzecchi arrives with fond memories and fresh data. The Romagna rider, victorious at Le Mans in 2023 and a two-time Moto2 rostrum finisher here, used Jerez testing to validate setup directions. His feedback will be crucial as Aprilia fine-tunes electronics, suspension, and aero parts for the French layout. I'm happy to go to Le Mans. After the positive tests in Jerez, we're motivated and ready to give our all, Marco Bezzecchi said. With Jorge Martin still in recovery, Lorenzo Savadori picks up the reins once more. Tasked with continuing the test program on Raceday, Savadori's role is to ensure that insights from Jerez, particularly regarding chassis balance, aren't confined to testing sheets but actively enrich race setups. Le Mans is a beautiful circuit where I haven't raced for a few years. I can't wait to get back on track to continue the development of the RSGP25, Lorenzo Savadori said. Le Mans demands versatility. Its 4,190-meter layout mixes heavy braking zones with flowing S's, testing both mechanical grip and stability under acceleration. Sharp deceleration into slow corners and rapid transitions penalize imbalance, making it a perfect litmus test for Aprilia's Jerez refined package. The Bugatti circuit is known for its mix of slow and fast corners, characterized by sharp braking and sudden acceleration. Beyond lap times, Aprilia's focus will be on actionable data, tire degradation curves, front-end feedback, and mid-corner stability metrics. The team plans to compare Jerez and Le Mans datasets in real time, aiming to validate whether spring rate tweaks and electronic maps hold up under cooler, variable French conditions. Our goal is to confirm the excellent sensations from Jerez on a very different circuit. As lights go out at Le Mans, all eyes will be on Aprilia's RSGP25 to see if its Jerez momentum can carry over. With Bezzecchi's Le Mans pedigree, Savadori's development role, and a clear data roadmap, Aprilia aims not just to race, but to confirm a genuine step forward in 2025. At COTA, a sudden decision by Marquez to swap machines mid-procedure led to a delayed start and widespread confusion. Webb explained that the intricate nature of the old rulebook contributed to misunderstandings over who would face penalties, and why. Since the events of the US Grand Prix at COTA, where we had a very unusual start procedure with riders leaving the grid, we have spent a lot of time reviewing the circumstances of that race, and seeing how the regulations can be improved, Mike Webb said. The revamped rulebook strips away nuance. Any rider who leaves the grid, regardless of reason, or fails to join it when called, automatically incurs the same sanction. No more debates over tire choice or bike setup. The only penalty is for leaving the grid. That's it. It doesn't matter the reason for leaving the grid. Under the former regulations, officials had to verify tire compounds, bike usage, and even tweak start orders, leading to inconsistent penalties. Now, every rider who exits the grid before the warm-up lap will start from pit lane in their original grid slot and serve a standardized double-long lap. Under the old regulations, we would need to know exactly which tires they had on the warm-up lap and which bike they were using. Some riders would have a ride-through penalty, and some wouldn't. To prevent similar confusion in Moto 2 and Moto 3, where only a single machine is available for each rider, the same simple procedure will apply. This uniformity ensures that all classes benefit from a clear, consistent approach to grid infractions. The good part of the simplicity of the rule is that we can apply it to each Grand Prix class. Under these new rules, Marc Márquez, and any other rider who left the grid at COTA, would have faced an immediate double long lap penalty, no questions asked. As the paddock gears up for Le Mans, the message is clear: leave the grid at your peril. Thanks for watching ZNGP today, and this is your Moto GP news update. And see you next time!